So we got another video coming here. 2022 Civic hatch CVT. Today we're doing full suspension, lowering springs, rear camber kits, rear sway bar brace, and end links. And then he'll be coming back when he gets his charge pipes, because we're also going full bolt-on. And besides the cold air intake, we're waiting on PRL to come out with a cold air intake for this car. But we're going rear RMM and from our intercooler with the charge pipes. And it's going to be interesting because, you know, this is the new 11th gen. It's the same motor per se, just a little bit different. I mean, I already like the space, the more space it has here for the cat, because on the 10th gens it's pretty tight. But this will be interesting. I'm excited. New platform. Really grateful to be like one of the first ones to even get to take these apart, put them together, see what this new 1.5 can do. I mean, the only difference between this 1.5 and like the older ones is this one has VTEC, but it's not for performance, it's more for fuel economy. So we'll see how that goes. He is in the future wants to go ARP HEP studs, and he's gonna go on K-tuner on the Furigal tune, whatever you call it. It is a CVT, that's the only thing he's worried about, but they should hold the CVTs from what I've seen on the internet, like 350 torque, 300, and the K-tuner you could put a torque limiting, whatever it is, you can limit the torque. So yeah, this is very exciting. So I started taking apart the rears. The spring is out. These are pretty easy. You loosen this, you loosen the sway bar end link 12, 17. The sway bar is out because we're changing out the sway bar. I was able to take it out by because I loosened both of them to drop the control arm enough, and I just went from here and I took the whole thing out this way. He's going Eibach sway bar with sway bar end links, lowering springs. I got to change out this camber arm, which the bolt up here is normally a pain to get to because I did it on my car. He's got the Spc rear camera arms. This bolt is easy to get to, so. But I'll show you some more of the parts. So these are the stock ones, obviously. Those are the lowering springs. That's a sway bar. This is a brace with the end links, I'm pretty sure. And those are the rear camber arms. He makes me want these wheels. I wanted them forever. They're so fucking clean. Maybe I'll trade them. But we're making progress. So camber arm is out on this side. I'll give you some free game. So this one is easy to take off. The one in here is always a pain. What I do is I take a swivel and go through here and get to the bolt. A swivel with a really long extension. Let me show you how. So if you see right in there, I'm on there with a 17 swivel and a long extension, and then I have my ratchet right here. And I'm simply just turning it like that, and that's how you get in there. And this side is harder because it has the gas lines for the filler neck. The other side is a lot easier, but that's how you get these arms out and the bolts in and out. So I got the rear camera's arms out, and what I do to kind of get like an eyeball of where the factory one would be is I just I use the factory one, the length, obviously, to put it to factory spec per se. I just use the bolts and I put it through, and then I bring it to here till it gets tight. And these, how you adjust them normally is you spin this one per se. You lock this one. This does spin out itself, but normally you just spin this one. To get regular camber, if you're gonna go crazy, then obviously you would bring this one out more, but this is just if you want positive camber. Most people that get these, it's for negative camber, so I just open it up, as you can see, and you have to tighten this bolt here to lock them. But yeah, this is what I do. And I mean, he's going lowering springs, so it's probably gonna camber itself out naturally, so that's why I'm also going to referencing these, because this is like stock. But when he brings it to get a line, he just has to tell him like, hey, I got the camera kit. Also, I tend to put anti-seize on these threads because we're up north, winter, salt, yeah, you know. So last time I left off, I had all the suspension components apart, but we got the SPC rear camera kit is in, the Eibach lowering springs are in, the rear brace bar. For all you guys that are questioning whether this fits the new the 11th gen, they do, even though it says it's only for the 10th, right? And then yeah, it goes over the bracket, and then you have another bracket inside of here to kind of like, it has a nut welded, but you kind of add more, I guess, rigidity to it. And then besides that, we're all done. And we also got he also installed bought the sway bar end links, the adjustable ones for the rear. But I won't adjust those until the car's on the ground, because you need the suspension preloaded. So I have the driver's side here, but passenger side is already in. I've done this so many times. I feel like I have so many videos on how to do this. So I'm gonna just breeze by it really quick. Of course, you loosen the 17 here, 14 on the sway bar. Is it a 14? It might be a 16. 12 mil on the brake line, and you undo this clip. You just pop the little tabs in the back, and then you want to go down here, and these lower control arm bolts, I take them out, pop the control arm ball joint out of that lower control arm socket, so I can move the whole assembly forward, and that lets me drop it down enough so I can clear this. And then of course you undo the top 3 bolts, and I always spray this with WD-40 or W7 as we say in the shop, and then I give it a couple love taps here with my hammer, and it just pops right out. This is a newer car. It's a 2022. So it really didn't take much to hit this out. And then to go back together, I just kind of set everything, and I use this. The axles tend to pop out when you pull it forward. What I normally do is I'll lift it up and kind of spin it and push in at the same time, and then it pops back in. And then I'll take this and slide it under and set this all the way up. Make sure you don't get the dust shield, so set the jack right here, because if not, you'll crush this and then you're gonna have to separate it. But you set the jack under it, and then I come all the way here until this is flush. I'll set the bolt in, and then I go down here and push forward and put these bolts in. It's definitely, if you're doing it for the first time, if you struggle, that's completely fine. I still struggle from time to time. There's always that one that's a pain, but for the most part, that's how I do it. And let's walk to the driver's side, because it's all out so you can see pretty much. So as you can see, like I was saying, like the axle overextends. You just gotta pop it in. You'll know when the axle's popped in, because you won't be able to push it all the way in, the knuckle. Like you kind of gotta spin it, and then it will like bang, and it'll go in. If you pop the axle out, it's not the end of the world. Just make sure you pop it back in. If not, you're gonna need to buy an axle. But I'm on the last side. After this, I just have to make sure, set the tension on the end links in the back, and make sure everything is nice and tight. Torque everything to spec, go over the bolts, and should get him out of here. So this is the height with it lowered. We still gotta go take it on the road test. I already adjusted the rear end links, but this 11th gen is definitely growing on me. This is definitely growing on me. This looks really, really good. Let me flip the camera over, but it's like perfect height. Not too low, not too high. They still got to settle, so it might drop a little bit. But this is definitely growing on me. I might go get one as a daily.